Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, September 29th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick, a couple of clarifications. First off, the candlestick that you see right there will still be moving around. That's because the market's open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, BNOX. Big mover today, all over the place, and is now set up, at least for me, I think a very well-defined, breakout point here for a potential reversal back upward. So if you're someone that likes to try to play consolidation reversals, then right here at $4.95, very nicely defined level. So, you had the price make the gap up, pull back, then all of a sudden return back around, which was good. It shows that this wasn't some sort of massive pump and dump where the price just went down into oblivion. Again, that's not what happened here. Price went back upwards, but then you can see it got rejected back down, which guarantees nothing, but now makes it at least plausible, at least valid to say and throw out the proposition that, you know what, if this thing comes back up here and pushes up through there, that break in of itself, could that, create bigger buying pressure? In my mind, that's a very rational question to be asking. So like I said, if you like this price range and you like these sorts of scenarios where you get a big gap up, then you get a deeper pullback, but then you start to get some consolidation, and that's what all this is right here, some consolidation. Let's see if the price can turn itself back around and make a push up through that $5 mark. Next one here, BXRX, and same general idea as the one I just talked about. So nice move up. Now you have a pullback here. I want to say quite as much consolidation, but the one difference being it's not really a horizontal level of resistance, but in this situation, more of a trend line resistance. And I'm not trying to impress you. You got to think a lot of people have drawn that trend line, which is pretty crazy how powerful trend lines can be. So by using those couple points right here, did a fantastic job of forecasting where that resistance was. So like I just said, is it valid? Is it guaranteed that if the price comes up here and pushes through that level that it will 100% guaranteed create a bigger breakout? Of course not. But is it valid to at least throw out that question and wonder, hey, if the price can turn itself around after the big gap up and the pullback, could that generate additional buying pressure? Absolutely. And then the other big difference would be this is just a penny stock. So maybe you like to stick down in the world of pennies, but you like these sorts of general scenarios. And if so, then certainly keep an eye here on BXRX. Next one here, FEMY. And this is a very interesting one because once again, we have what I would argue is a nicely well-defined level up there around the $1.68 mark. And just goes back to previous days. You can see right here, didn't hit it exactly, but general area. And then, like I said, general area, because right there I'm aware the price did go up above it, but just trying to find that middle ground here. So once again, one of these situations where you have a very nicely defined level. Now, maybe some of you cup and handle enthusiasts would disagree with this, and I'd respect that, but I can kind of see a cup and handle forming right here. Is that like the purest of couple and handles? Probably not, but I think it's at least within the ballpark. So hopefully we can at least find some common ground there. But if you're someone that likes cup and handles or stocks that look closely, or patterns, I should say, that look similar to cup and handles, and you like down below the $2 mark, keep an eye on this one as, in my opinion, that $1.68 mark, very, very interesting. Next one here, PLTR. Did this in yesterday's video and talked about how the big area of resistance was going to be that pink line right there, the 200 period moving average. You can see got the gap up through there this morning and then spent basically the first half of the day, very, very impressive, and then spent the second half of the day pulling back here a little bit, but in all actuality, nothing, no damage at all. In fact, I kind of just inadvertently drew right there a nice little bull flag pattern, but that's not necessarily what I wanted to point out here. I just wanted to get some next levels of resistance mapped out because, yeah, it's been a while since the price has been up this high. So definitely got some old annotations here, but this is definitely going to be a general area where some next potential sellers could show up, with that area being right up there around the $16.10 market. Now, I understand it's hard to see, but that's always a good problem to have when you have to look back this far in the chart's history. But you can see right there, rejected the price, got very close and rejected the price. So it's $16.10 in my mind, going to be that next key battleground to watch moving forward. In terms of areas of support, if you like to play more so pullbacks, then really from a very simplistic standpoint, no pun intended here, the key level of support will be that 200 period simple moving average, and that's just based on a foundational rule that when levels of resistance are broken, you want to see them act as support. But there is a high chance of opportunity cost, meaning you just miss the opportunity at the trade, because if you're waiting for it to come all the way down there, it may never do that before it continues on up. But like I said, you have to weigh those trade-offs within your personal risk tolerance and strategy itself. But overall, another nice day here for PLTR. Next one here, AMC, and overall very, very healthy move today, and a move that you wanted to see and in some situations needed to see happen, and that has to do with that level right there at $7.32. For those of you that watched yesterday's video, hopefully you remember me talking about how important that level was. But I mean, check this out, the power of charts. Opening 30 minutes, price came down there, hit that level, and then made a very, very nice bounce. So there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, don't get me wrong, but good to see that that level was indeed able to hold. So you'll want to continue to keep an eye on $7.32 in the event the price rolls back over. However, as of right now, the price is definitely got a nice upwards slope to it here. And now it's just a question of the next big battleground right here. Both these moving averages essentially right on top of each other. The purple line being the 50-period moving average, pink line being the 200-period moving average. So it becomes a very valid question to throw out there. Can the price, gather enough strength to push up through that level? And even if it does, you'd still want to be skeptical, because not that far away from both of these moving averages, you then have the top part of this resistance up here of $8.10, which I've talked about previously, and has a track record of, providing some problems too. So yes, again, don't get me wrong, beautiful, fantastic bounce off that level right there, but there's still more work that needs to be done with these next couple sections of resistance. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live online class. Now, a couple of special notes. It is a live class. So if you're watching this right now, but you have something on your schedule this evening, or maybe just are watching this Friday morning and you completely missed it, that's okay. It will be recorded. So send me an email and I'd be happy to send you a replay link to it. But all I ask is, because it's truly live, the event does first need to happen, and then I got to get it uploaded, and then I'll send it to you. So patience is always appreciated. But if you can make it live, then definitely go get signed up, and I'll see you here in just a few hours. Next one here, GRTS, and nice move here. Got the breakout, which is somewhat confusing because I understand what you're saying. What do you second? Wait, Clay. You said we got the breakout. So that means, whoops. So that means the breakout has already happened. That is all true. The breakout has already happened. So if you're hoping to play, and I'll just draw even the pattern here very crudely, but there was this bull pennant that had formed. So just the golf hole down there to make it a little bit more visual. But there was this bull pennant. Bull pennant has gotten the breakout. That is true. But the key with all that is now we get to ask a very entertaining and very exciting question. Is this here the start of something even bigger? Now think about that question. You can't ask that question. It makes no sense if nothing worthwhile has happened in the first place. A lot of stocks, nothing ever happened, so it makes no sense to say, oh, wow, is this the start of something bigger? Because, again, nothing happens. But we did get something that happened here. We got the breakout. Now, to be fair, maybe it's not. Maybe this thing rolls right back over. But that is a two-sided coin because, well, I mean, maybe it is the start of something bigger, and this thing really gets rocking and rolling, over the next few days. So, like I said, if you like these sorts of scenarios where you can ask that question, okay, got the breakout, is it the start of something bigger? Then certainly keep an eye on GRTS. Next one here, NIO, very, very nice move here. And, to think that not that long ago, this thing was all the way down here, but now the thing has battled its way back up to where it is right now. So yes, again, still a lot of work that needs to be done, but you certainly can't complain about this sort of action here. And I'm going to just go ahead and really try to keep this as simplified as possible and talk about the pattern here that at least I see in the very near term. So we have that area of resistance. Then we have an area of support like that. And then maybe make it easier to see. Let's keep it one color. So we have in fact, I just talked about this pattern, but we have resistance, we have support, we have the nice upwards move right here. We have the golf hole down here. So another bull pennant pattern. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. This is definitely a very, very tight ranged pennant pattern right there. But you got to think a lot of people are watching the same general idea, and lots of people are watching the same idea, especially on a stock that's relatively popular, which I would consider NIO. It can certainly create some good solid breakouts. Next one here, AMD, very, very powerful day here. Not necessarily because it was such a big green day, but from a technical point of view, just the way that it just crushed 3 levels of resistance. First level of resistance right there, which I talked about in the previous video. Second level of resistance right there, which I talked about previously. And then the third level right here, that pink line there, 200 period moving average, which you would want to see act as support now. And look at that. Classic example of charts. that former area of resistance then behaving as support right there. So like I said, moral of the story, very, very impressive move here. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of these levels. I am going to leave this up now and just convert this. Again, basic technical analysis. When levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So ideal level of support in terms of, what would make the chart look the strongest would be if the price can hold above the 200 period moving average, but not the end of the world if the price falls below there, and as the next key level would be down there at the $100.25 mark. In terms of areas of resistance, next key level to watch moving forward, which I can't quite tell from the naked eye, did it hit it today or not? Almost, very close, right there at 104.40. If you look right there, you can see that was a little high right there on this nasty move, and then the price came up there. Didn't hit it exactly, but got very, very close. But moving forward, 104.40, next key battleground. But all in all, very, very impressive day. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and all in all, good solid day. First thing that needs to happen is converting this back to now a level of support, because again, when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. And this is, I wouldn't call it a do or die level, but very important, because the last thing you want to see the price do is fall back inside of this range that it was able to get back out of today. So in other words, you don't want to see a nice move all of a sudden go right back to where it started. Again, not saying that's what's going to happen, but that is why, in my opinion, that 241.50 mark, very, very important. And then in regards to levels of resistance, nothing new here to report. Still the key level that I've talked about several times before. That red line up there at 249.75 going to be a very key level, which you can see has a track record here of providing problems. But the good news is the price is within striking distance in a very crude way. For those of you that like to play patterns, right there, you got yourself a nice little bull flag pattern that has formed within the bigger, context that has played out. But yeah, all things considered, nice move today. Very, very nice consolidation all afternoon long. So let's see if this is indeed a healthy consolidation or not. Next one here, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ. So if you believe the NASDAQ market as a whole is going to rise, this one will also rise. It just allows you access at a much lower price point, which makes it a very popular ETF. And overall, very nice move here. Has finally gotten through this red line here at 35.25. So as I've said a couple of times now, when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. And we've had that happen already right here. Beautiful example. Now, with that being said, 35.25, even if the price were to violate that, not that far below, you have that purple line there, the 50 period moving average. So if this today's price movement is genuinely strong, you would expect it to have some pretty stubborn support down around that area, because you have two levels, again, 35.25 and that 50 period moving average. And then, as we just talked about with Tesla, the last thing you want to see this thing do is go right back inside of this range where it's been trapped over the past couple of days. So yeah, no doubt about it. Today, nice move up. Whoop, black, poor color. Right there, nice move up. The last thing you want to see do is fall back into the range that it's just broken out of. And then from a pattern standpoint, again, have ourselves another nice little bull flag pattern. But anyway, look at it. TQQQ, very nice day. And I should map out that levels of resistance. Next key level right up there at the 36.15 mark. You can see there, got a little ambitious there, rejected, and then right there, rejected. So 36.15, public enemy number one here, headed into Friday. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to go get signed up for the class. It'll be this evening, Thursday, September 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. But if you can't make it live for whatever reason, then go ahead, send me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the replay. And then as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do two things for me. Hit the like button, leave a comment below. Tell me what you traded today, or give me an idea of what you're watching for tomorrow. Those two things help out, and I really appreciate it, and thank you in advance. So hopefully I'll be seeing you here in a few hours, but if not, go ahead, send me an email. Thanks for watching. Take care.